Augustana Sportscene on Midco Sports Network is brought to you by Sanford Health, improving the human condition. By Schoenemann's, your trusted building center since 1888. And by Mid-Continent Communications, part of your community.
Hi everybody, and welcome to another edition of Augustana Sportscene here on Midco Sports Network. I'm Bill Gross, Director of Athletics at Augustana College. On this show, we'll feature some exciting action as we spin our Augustana Sports Update. We'll also talk Augie football with Coach Mike Aldrich and volleyball with Coach Ashley Buckley. A little later in the program, we'll catch up with a true big man on campus, defensive lineman Brady MacGyver. And we'll take a look at what's ahead on the Augustana Sports calendar for this week. It's going to be a good one, so let's get the action rolling. Here comes Augie Sports Update for this week.
Augustana Sports Update is brought to you by Schoenemann's.
Last Saturday afternoon, Coach Mike Aldrich's Augustana football team moved their record to 6-0 in the season and 5-0 in the NSIC as they knocked off Northern State 31-15 in front of a fired-up Viking Days crowd of 6,066 at Kirkby Over Stadium. In the first quarter, the Vikings scored on a 4-yard run by quarterback Josh Hansen, but Northern came right back to tie the score on a 73-yard touchdown pass. Midway through the second quarter, punter Drew Behrens injected some energy into the Vikings as he dashed 42 yards up the sideline on a fake punt. Josh Hansen then found Ben Parsley on a 5-yard scoring pass, and 3 minutes later, he found Ben again for another 5-yard TD toss to put Augie up 21-7 at halftime. In the second half, Joe Clark scored on a 7-yard run, and Drew Behrens added a 38-yard field goal to seal the Vikings' victory. The Augie offense was balanced, picking up 263 yards rushing and 178 passing. Joe Clark had his second 100-yard game in a row as he picked up 106 yards on 18 carries. Josh Hansen tacked on 87 yards in 17 attempts. The Vikings' offensive line of Dan Schoen, Tyler Lynch, Aaron Esselink, Lou Krabenhoff, and Tom Reese opened great holes for the Augie running attack. Through the air, Hansen completed 18 of 30 passes for 2 TDs. Eric Ellingworth and Sam Holson led the receiving corps with 5 catches each. Defensively, the Vikings held the Wolves to just 57 yards rushing. Ryan Isaacson led the way with 9 tackles, with Chris Janish adding 7. Andrew Keel thefted an interception, with Nick Andreas, Eric Bergman, Tom Vanasek, and Brandon Ordoff picking up quarterback sacks. In volleyball, Coach Ashley Buckley's team came up on the short end of road matches at Southwest Minnesota State and Minnesota State Mankato. Both SMSU and MSU are ranked in the top 20 in NCAA Division II. Against Southwest, Brianna Erickson and Jordan Spatanka recorded 8 kills each, with Grace Sanders scooping up 10 digs and Danny Haley passing out 26 set assists. In the Mankato match, Lindsey Peterson had 8 kills, Grace Sanders 10 digs, and Danny Haley 29 set assists. In soccer, Coach Brandon Barkas's team dropped a tough battle with MSU Mankato. The Vikings had 9 shots on goal and hit the crossbar twice in the second half but could not score. Goalkeeper Amanda Wagner made 7 saves. And in women's golf, Coach Peggy Kirby's talented Vikings continued their strong fall season as they finished second at the nationally competitive Laker Fall Classic hosted by Grand Valley State University in Allendale, Michigan. All Augie golfers finished in the top 20, with Kate Tobin leading the way with a 2-day score of 152. And after the first round of play in the NSIC Fall Classic in St. Paul, the Vikings led the field. That's our sports update for this week. When we come back, we'll talk Augie football with Coach Mike Aldrich. Stay with us.
Uber fan here, check this out. I'm on campus, right? And I overhear this dude say the games are gonna be on TV now! A new network, Midco Sportsnet. All local sports, all the time! I mean, every matchup, every rivalry, and I'm like, yeah, baby! I'm fist pumping him, I'm chest bumping him, might have kissed him on the lips. Anyway, every local game that matters only on Mid-Continent. It's totally awesome! because I really can't go on campus for a while. Midcoast Sportsnet coming at you live.
At Schoenemann's, our staff's expertise goes far beyond hardware. In fact, we know just how important your home is to you and are committed to making every project a success. So, whether you're just adding some color to your life or adding on for your growing family, Schoenemann's can help. Sure, we know you can pick up nails just about anywhere, but when it's expert advice you need, you'll find it only at Schoenemann's.
You can always do it right with Schoenemann's.
We call it the pioneer spirit, always pushing a little farther, always seeking something better. Today's pioneers still have it. We're creating something new, something that will transform lives worldwide, that will redefine healthcare. We're doing it for you, with you. The pioneer spirit still lives, right here, the new Sanford Health.
The Augustana Football Report is brought to you by Sanford Health.
Joining me now is Augustana head football coach Mike Aldrich. Well, we're right after the game here at Kirkaby Over Stadium, where the Vikings took care of business in Viking Days game, 31-15 victory in front of over 6,000 fans. Mike, your thoughts on the game?
Well, it was a great college game day atmosphere. We came out of that tunnel and to see all those people up on the hill on the berm, and the stands were packed. The only stands that didn't really seem completely filled were the visiting side, and I think a number of our fans made their way over there as well. And if the rain would have held off a little bit, it probably would have stayed in those seats. But it was a great game day atmosphere. We came out, started the game hot. Defensively got a stop right away, got the ball back for our offense. They churned up the clock, scored a touchdown, and I thought we were going to be right on track with what we needed to do. And then the next series, we have a blown coverage. They get a big touchdown pass on us, and I think that gave them a little bit of a life and let them fight with us there for a little bit. And then we were able to get the momentum back once we ran that punt, and our punter ran the fake and went around the end and had a huge gain, and that got everybody going again.
Yeah. Well, it was a hard-fought game. The Vikings coming out on top. Let's go a little further here and talk about the offense. We had some, again, a good balance, but a very good rushing game in particular for Joe Clark and Josh Hansen.
Well, those two guys, it's a tough thing as a defensive coach to ever be able to stop an offense that can have a running quarterback. There's too many seams. So with Josh being able to make those reads, and he's not afraid to pull the ball down, go up inside, he adds a whole new problem for any defense. And then Joe Clark again went over 100. He had a good day. We were kind of thinking maybe we could get him up over 200 today, and then we started to run into some problems here or there. But that'll come. He's looking forward to being able to go and play in Winona, which is his backyard anyways, so maybe we can get him that record out there. But offensively, we did a good job. Tyler Schulte played a few snaps here or there just to try to get him back into it, see what he can do. He felt about 85%, and it being his senior homecoming, we didn't want him to just sit on the sidelines if he felt like he could maybe help the team in some way. But I think he had one catch, and we limited his reps pretty well. We didn't really want to push him, especially as warm as it was today.
Well, it was a nice offensive effort. Let's move over to defense.
Defensively, I already alluded to that blown coverage, and that was it was the same coverage that got blown as the previous week. So I think we'll probably have to kick that coverage back out of the old playbook right now. But that was a tough part, but we came back and we answered after that, and we did a great job from the end of that touchdown all the way into the fourth quarter. Defensively, I think they had around 30 yards total offense between those 2 points, and then once we got in the fourth quarter, we started rotating our guys in and getting some playing time for our backups. And that's always the double-edged sword as a coach. Once you start putting in some inexperienced defensive players, you're bound to give up some yards and a touchdown, and they got us on that at the end to make the score maybe a little bit more respectable, even though the play on the field wasn't.
Right. Well, good play by the defense, and then special teams. As we're talking about special teams, you've alluded to it already. But talk a little bit about the fake punt that Drew Barons had and went down the field for 42 yards, how that came about. Is it called? Is it a read? It was a big play in the game because it was 7-7.
It was a huge play. It's one of those things where we've got a couple different ways that we can punt the ball, and one of them is to do that rugby style and get them out. And If he and Dan O'Keefe feel like they can get the edge, then we give them the freedom to take it. If they don't get it and they tried to take it, then we'll yell at them if they didn't make it. But I mean, for him to rattle off as many yards as he did was unbelievable, and that got a whole bunch of life in because our guys really rally around Drew, so it was good to see.
Yeah, Drew, holy cow, 2 great weeks here. He's doing everything. I mean, he was National Special Teams Player of the Week last week. 5, field goals, record breaking against Concordia. Then he runs 42 yards, so he must have had his Wheaties this morning again. He was doing a great job.
Yeah, well, hopefully with that fake punt, maybe we can get him International Player of the Week.
Hey, there we go. All right, we'll take it. Well, let's move on. And the Vikings 6-0. Congratulations, Mike. Great start to the season. She's going to be a tough one this week. A team that's kind of been a thorn in our side, Winona State, and a tough place to play down there. We head down there for a big game this coming Saturday.
Well, it's the tough part kind of building up to this point in the season is you don't want to overlook anybody, and it can be easy to do, and that was our battle this week. It was the challenge of not overlooking Northern and just worrying about Winona and falling into that trap game. So we did enough to get out. We didn't play very, very well. We could have played a lot better. It could have been a completely different scoreboard. But now, like I told him after the game, I said preseason's over. This is the game that we've been waiting for. This is the game that we're gonna be able to show how great we can be. We got to do it on the road, which is on one side it's kind of bad, but on the other side it gets you even more focused because you got to get in the bus, you got to move out. There's no distractions, and now you got 56 guys fighting for each other, and you don't have the whole sideline. So it'll be an exciting time. Our guys are really looking forward to it.
Well, we're all looking forward to it too. It's going to be a great ball game. We're excited for you, Mike. Super start to the season. Go get them this week.
Thank you very much.
The Augustana Volleyball Report is next. We'll be right back.
Discover German engineering and premium style in the Jetta at Graham Automotive. Starting at $15,995, the all-new 2011 Jetta has arrived. Completely redesigned, making it the largest car in its class. The all-new Jetta for 2011 includes Volkswagen's scheduled carefree maintenance. Graham Automotive and Volkswagen invite you to test drive the new 2011 Jetta today.
Graham Automotive for the ride of your life.
We call it the pioneer spirit, always pushing a little farther, always seeking something better. Today's pioneers still have it. We're creating something new, something that will transform lives worldwide, that will redefine healthcare. We're doing it for you, with you. The pioneer spirit still lives, right here, the new Sanford Health.
You may have met one. The teachers who challenge, the ones who motivate, the ones who can fire imagination, the ones, in short, that you'll find at Augustana. Now, maybe you don't believe that one college could have so many great professors. If so, you're in for an education. Augustana.
The Augustana Volleyball Report is brought to you by Mid-Continent Communications.
With me now is Augustana volleyball coach Ashley Buckley. Well, Ashley, last weekend the Vikings hit the road for 2 tough matches against 2 top 20 teams. And first started out Friday night at Southwest against an outstanding team. Talk about that one.
We started out that match really well, tied at 10-10, and I felt our girls actually came out very strong out of the chute. And then we gave a lead. We gave them a string of points, and unfortunately we couldn't come back from it. And what we found is the longer that we played with them, the fewer points that they actually were giving us. And so our girls just didn't recover very well from it. We passed the ball okay for us, but we didn't get much production other than from our middles, and so that really hurt us in the long run. Our middles were pulling great blocks, but we just couldn't score on the pins. And defensively, we thought we had a good plan going in, but they had a lot of players that had big numbers for them. Their outsides on the pins scored well, and then Mary Groth out of the middle. So we found that we just played a better team, and we weren't able to play to our strengths defensively.
Well, Southwest, an outstanding program, very experienced team, and it was a long night for the Vikings, but they came back Saturday and went over to Minnesota State Mankato and battled the Mavericks.
Yeah, same thing against the Mavericks. We came out really strong, tied at 10s, and then, our girls gave, again, a lead of points for them, a string of points, and we could not recover from it. We just did not make good defensive adjustments, although we talked about the game plan. We didn't make them fast enough. We, however, by the end of the set actually did come back and were able to defend them better. But overall, we're finding that this weekend, teams are terminating half of the balls they were swinging, whereas we're only terminating about 30% of the balls that we're actually attacking. And so teams are out defending us, and right now they're terminating faster at the net offensively. So that's really what we'll take away from this weekend. But we played two really solid teams. They had great weekends. They both went to 2-0 this weekend, so they have a lot to feel good about.
Well, yeah, and following up on that, Wayne State was leading the league, an outstanding team. They hit the road at Mankato and Southwest and come home 0-2, so it's certainly not, it's two tough teams. Well, anyway, Ashley, you're back at it, and I think it's always interesting in coaching, to talk about, coming back from either wins or losses. Now, you've dropped a couple on the road, two good teams. Now you've got a focus here of some matches coming up. What's the practice emphasis going to be this week?
We want to make this week highly competitive for our front row players. So we're already talking about drills that we need to be running, how we can terminate faster, and really just looking at the percentage that we are terminating. We need to get in the 40s by this week. 50% of the balls that we're swinging at, we're terminating. So that will be a high focus for us. And then again, just consistency with serve receive, and also our defensive players making better adjustments against offense. Those are really the three areas of focus that we need to concentrate on. But I have no doubt our girls are going to rebound. They've been consistent this year. They're still young. They're learning. We just need to make sure that we're pushing them in the gym so that we're prepared for this weekend.
Well, and this weekend does not get easier. On Friday night, up at Minnesota State Moorhead, a very good team, and then on to Minnesota Crookston. Two chances again in the NSIC, Ashley.
Moorhead is a really strong team, and they did have a good weekend. They went 2-0 this weekend. So we're expecting them to play well at home. We've always battled hard in their facility. They're a strong offensive team, and last weekend they beat Mankato, and so they are also a very scrappy defensive team. However, the matchup looks good, and we'll just prepare our best for them. And then when we go to Crookston, they're looking for their first win in the Northern Sun, which is always a tough team to play as well because they have nothing to lose. They're trying to upset people's seasons. And so, again, we just have a tough weekend on the road, but we'll need a lot of focus.
Well, and after that road weekend, fans can see that outstanding Southwest Minnesota State team come in here this next Tuesday night as they play the Vikings at home. And good to be back home again, Ashley. And, I think a goal to see how we do against Southwest.
Yeah, it'll be another interesting matchup. Not a whole lot of time between the two matches. We'll definitely focus on our defense and how to better prepare for them at the net blocking. But again, it's just really coming down to us competing, us earning our points, and making sure that we aren't giving strings of points to the top teams in the country because they aren't giving them back to us. And if we continue to do that, we'll never get an opportunity to win sets. So again, a focus will be primarily on our side of the net.
Well, the Vikings, as Ashley and I talked before we went on the air, a lot of volleyball to go, 11 NSIC matches. So, Ashley, line them up, go after them.
Thank you.
Up next, Augie Sports Focus. Stay with us.
We call it the pioneer spirit, always pushing a little farther, always seeking something better. Today's pioneers still have it. We're creating something new, something that will transform lives worldwide, that will redefine healthcare. We're doing it for you, with you. The pioneer spirit still lives, right here, the new Sanford Health.
And now, an amazing discovery from the Better Bundle Bureau. E equals MC squared. Entertainment equals Mid-Continent Communications Duo. Specifically, the $79 Theater DVR Suite and Midconet Preferred Broadband Bundle. This entertainment equation combines the fastest Midconet broadband, free HD, on-demand, and over 200 channels of touchdowns, home makeovers, and pampered pooches. The Theater DVR Suite and Midconet Preferred Broadband Bundle. A formula for fun.
At Schoenemann's, our staff's expertise goes far beyond hardware. In fact, we know just how important your home is to you and are committed to making every project a success. So, whether you're just adding some color to your life or adding on for your growing family, Schoenemann's can help. Sure, we know you can pick up nails just about anywhere, but when it's expert advice you need, you'll find it only at Schoenemann's.
You can always do it right with Schoenemann's.
Augustana Sports Focus is brought to you by Schoenemann's.
Joining me now is Vikings' outstanding senior defensive tackle, Brady MacGyver. This guy's huge, 6'5", 305 pounds, and he raises havoc in that defensive line for the Vikings. Brady, we're right after the game here at KO Stadium. The Vikings taking care of business, 31-15 over Northern. Your thoughts on the game?
Well, we got the W. That's the main thing. So,
yeah.
I mean, we played all right, but we obviously, I think, could have played better. A team like Northern, 5-0 against 0-5. So we're happy we got the win, but we did have, I think, just too many mistakes to be completely satisfied with the game.
Yeah,
so.
Well, that'll get us, our focus will get back this week, a tough one coming down at Winona. Yep. Well, let's talk a little further about this year's team. I mean, we're 6-0. You can't be too disappointed. How are you feeling about the Vikings?
I love our team this year, really. I mean, I was talking about with some of my buddies this week, I feel like we got a team where we can trust everybody. I feel like in the past, not maybe that we couldn't, but I know this week, I know everybody who's starting, everybody who's playing is coming. They're going to bring their best every week, and that's the most important thing. You start right there, and then on top of that, I mean, we've got some talented guys. We really do.
So. And it's sure a team approach, and that's great.
Yep.
Well, let's back up a second. Outstanding player in high school up in Anoka, Minnesota. Big decision to make for a big guy like you. I'm sure you had a lot of choices. Why'd you pick Augustana? Augie
was kind of one of the last colleges to recruit me. I didn't really hear from them till probably December, and I came down for a visit here in January, and one of my guy that graduated a year before me, Josh Nienfewer, played here. He was here, and Alex Moses was here from my area, so I met with them, and they liked it a lot. I liked the liberal arts college, right. The ones I was interested in Minnesota were like, St. Thomas, St. John's, those type that similar schools, right. But the level of football is lower. So heard about Augie and it had what I was looking for. Yeah, and we're glad you came. You've been a great player for us. You're in the trenches down there in that defensive line. Yep. What do you like about being a defensive tackle? I like that you get to bang every play, I guess. I'll be honest with that. I mean, you look at some of the other, if you're a corner or even a linebacker, sometimes half the plays you really aren't even involved. It's kind of if it comes your way or doesn't come your way. But if you're on the line, you're banging every play, and right. Maybe not involved in the play, but you're doing something. So and there couldn't, not being a guy who ever did this, and a lot of you out there haven't. It's got to be a supercharge when you knock down that quarterback. Oh, definitely. That's what you go for. I mean, you got to stop the run first, obviously, but when you get those pass downs, it's a reward when you get there. Yeah, and you do it very well. Well, listen, let's switch gears a little bit, Brady. You're a redshirt, fifth-year guy here. Major future plans? Well, I'm a business and fitness management major, so I got married this summer to a Marin MacIver, formerly Marin Baker. So it's kind of, we're trying to figure things out together, but I'm not sure where I'm going with the major exactly. I'm looking right away to get into business somewhere. So I've got some internships in the spring that hopefully those take me somewhere. Well, I'm sure they will. You're a great guy. End of the line here, fifth-year senior, last football season. A lot of days around Augustana as a student athlete. Reflect on your thoughts. Oh, it is. It's like sometimes I look at it and I think, man, I've been here a long time, and then sometimes it feels like it just flew by. So, I don't know. I've really enjoyed my time at Augie. For the most part, I think it's been a great football program to be a part of, and the school. I mean, it's best school in the area in my opinion, and I've met a lot of people, and so it's been positive experiences, I guess what I'd say. So. Well, we've loved having you here, Brady. The Vikings are having a great season. You're a big part of that, so good luck to you and the team the rest of the way. All right, thank you. The Augustana Sports Calendar is next. We'll be right back.
We've all known them. The teachers who inspire. The ones who can make concepts spring to life and words leap off the page. The ones who could light up a classroom We've all known teachers like that. The amazing thing is that so many of them teach at Augustana.
I love learning.
I believe in service. I am full of passion.
I embody sportsmanship.
I trust in my resourcefulness.
I like balance.
That's why I chose.
I chose.
I chose.
I chose.
I chose.
I chose Division II.
We call it the pioneer spirit. Always pushing a little farther. Always seeking something better. Today's pioneers still have it. We're creating something new. Something that will transform lives worldwide, that will redefine healthcare. We're doing it for you, with you. The pioneer spirit still lives, right here, the new Sanford Health.
The Augustana Sports Calendar is brought to you by Sanford Health.
Let's take a look at the Augustana Sports Calendar for this week. Thursday, October 14th, it's Basketball Midnight Madness starting at 10:30 at the Elman Center. It'll have games, fun, and a little bit of scrimmage from the Augie basketballers. Friday, October 15th, volleyball on the road at Minnesota State Moorhead. Saturday, October 16th, volleyball on the road again at Minnesota Crookston. Cross country competing in the Chili Pepper Festival in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Football, big game on the road at Winona State at 1 o'clock. And soccer is home against Minnesota Duluth, also at 1 o'clock. Sunday, October 17th, soccer back home again, taking on Bemidji State, 1 o'clock on the campus soccer field. Monday, October 18th, it's the Augustana Coaches Show, live on ESPN 99.1 with Jeff Filling at 5 o'clock. Tuesday, October 19th, tough match for volleyball, big battle with Southwest Minnesota State, 7 o'clock at the Elman Center. Then next Wednesday, October 20th, we'll have Augustana Sportscene here again at 6:30 on Midco Sports Network. You can also catch the show Thursday, October 21 at 10:30 p.m. Check the Midco Sports Network website at midcosportsnet.com for additional program airtimes. And remember, for radio coverage of Augustana football, you can hear the Vikings on KIKN FM 100.5. And for complete information on Augustana athletics, go to our website, goaugie.com. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll join me again next Wednesday at 6:30 or Thursday at 10:30 for another edition of Augustana Sportscene right here on Midco Sports Network. Have a great week, everybody.
Augustana Sportscene on Midco Sports Network has been brought to you by Sanford Health, improving the human condition. By Schoenemann's, your trusted building center since 1888. And by Mid-Continent Communications, part of your community.